Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Cassell, and today we are reviewing Greenleaf Season 5, Episode 7. That was a lot. Agree.
Hi guys, welcome to CKWatchCorner. My name is Carlin. On this channel we do reviews of TV shows and movies, and today we'll be reviewing Greenleaf.
Yes, we will. Alright, let's get right into it. So
what stood out to you about this episode?
So I would say for me what stood out about this episode was finding out that Daryl James was the son of Miss Davis. So that was not expected.
Yeah.
The whole time they were, kind of walking around the idea that maybe it could be her lover. So
that was a shock.
yeah, that was a shock.
What do you think was interesting about the idea that it was a white woman that was the mother of a black guy?
I think that was not. We didn't know that she was white all the time, right?
We didn't.
We didn't know, so it was kind of surprising. Like they still didn't even mention who the dad may have been, who the husband may have been, because the housekeeper all along, he said that she was single.
He
Said that she was single, so that was like a really surprising part of the episode for me.
And the way he was describing it, it was like this is her lover because he was, I think, kind of a little abusive from how the caretaker was talking.
Yes.
So
yes.
everything that he was saying made it sound like a lover. I'm like, if he's not her lover, what could he be?
Right.
So when they mentioned son, it was like, wow.
Agreed. So the fact that Daryl James was the mother of Miss Davis, it ultimately made Basie and Rochelle and Tasha the rightful heir to the property. So the fact that Miss Lady Me and Pastor Greenleaf was considering to give them, mostly Pastor Greenleaf was considering to give them the property.
And it's funny because Lady May in the beginning, she was the one that wanted to give it to Tara.
Yep.
And then her mind kind of changed. So now it's interesting.
Yeah. So what stood out about the episode for you?
Well, I think this is what stood out for me is what maybe majority of people would think stood out for them was, guys, just so you know, this is gonna be big spoiler alert. So if you did not watch the episode, please pause it here because I don't want to ruin it for anyone. Bishop dies from a stroke, and for me,
sad.
That was a very big moment. I actually texted because I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe what just happened. So it actually made me cry, and I really love his character, and I just felt like, oh my gosh, how they could delete such a beautiful character from this series. Because I'm like, how am I not gonna have any Bishop in season 8? Like, this makes no sense to me. And like him and Lady May are my two biggest characters, or my favorite characters.
Right.
So I literally cried. I was so sad.
Yeah. So and just to add in, I felt the emotion. Like he acted like he was really having a stroke. And she was like really, feeling the pain, like, oh my god, I'm losing my husband. Is this really happening? Like, I did not see that, because she was gonna, they were gonna make love, and she was like talking, and then she's like, wait, what's going on? So
it was from both actors. It was phenomenal acting. Like, I really love that scene. What character stood out to you in this episode?
So for me, in this episode, I would say Jacob stood out for me. So pretty much when they had tried to stop, Bob Whitmore from demolishing the church, and they had to find out, does Carissa know anything about this? The fact that he reached out to Carissa and just seeing like, yeah, I knew. I'm sorry, Jacob. So I just felt like he built even more resentment towards her. The fact that their relationship turned sour, and the affair, and they were going to get a divorce, it's like it just added to what he was already feeling. So the resentment just grew even more. Like in the previous episode, he it's like he doesn't want to forgive her. He's having a very hard time to forgive her,
Yeah.
even if he's done much more than her.
Agreed.
So I think he's being like very unfair to Carissa in a
Yes.
sense. So
Yeah.
I
But I feel like it's also where I feel like she's doing it to get back at him.
Yep.
It's kind of a little vindictive.
like revenge.
Yeah, and I guess it's not really the best way to go about that because it really destroyed their marriage.
Right.
And from the episode, you also see that their daughter, she's being affected by that.
Right.
Like she doesn't know how to handle that.
She wanted to get away. Yeah. So I'll ask you the question. So what character stood up for you?
So I was mentioning to Cassell, there are 3 characters that I like adored, like the character development. It was Bishop, or should I say Pastor Greenleaf?
Yeah, Greenleaf.
Pastor Greenleaf, Phil Demar, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, and Charity. So with Pastor Greenleaf, I just thought it was so interesting how he went on the stage and he's doing this big confession, and I'm just listening, trying to find out what is it he's going to confess to. And at the end of the day, it was so vague.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What sin? What?
He doesn't admit like he's saying it, but it's like he's saying it with a bunch of like just going around it. It's like, are you really admitting to something?
Yeah.
Or are you saying like, well, I was blind, but I should have seen, but he knows that he was blind?
He glossing over it.
Yeah, so he glossing over it.
I feel like he basically said it in a way where he wouldn't be seen as a bad character, where like in the end he would still be like, okay, he made a mistake, he was vulnerable, let's forgive him, he's a precious pastor.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he played that scene well.
Yeah, agreed. And then you mentioned you wanted to talk about
Yes.
Phil.
So with Phil, I thought that scene with him was when he stood up to Bob was very interesting to me because it took him years to ever stand up to Bob, and I think what really ticked him off was the fact that he realized that Bob not only used him but he used his mom. So all this time he thought his mom was being like treated well by Bob, just to find out it was the complete opposite. So I feel like that was just like a slap in his face.
Yeah.
And it was like enough was enough. So he stood up for himself, and I was proud of him because he took a lot of crap.
I really
Can you say
wish.
that word?
Yeah. I really wish he would have stood up for himself earlier, because he had the guy just walk over him like trash just to get to like a point of where he had power. So I felt like he made his power like the. It's okay. I felt like he made the want for power even more than his worth. So like, was it really worth accepting all this bull from the guy? So he even went to the point as far as breaking up his relationship with Charity and going with Bob Whitmer's daughter. So that was just like he's sacrificing all of this for power. So, and then you said that you wanted to bring up Charity.
I feel like she did a great job of standing up for herself as well. Like with Phil, like she confronted him and said, "Yep, you did well, you did good.
But he did okay.
I'm not going back to that relationship." I feel like she saw her value and she was like, "Yeah, I'm over it." We don't know if she's gonna continue in that track because I feel like she can eventually forgive him. But she stood her ground.
Yeah, she stood her ground. She was like, I'm not taking any more of this crap. So she should not give him another chance, because I mean, like, come on, dude. Like, you say you love me, but do you really love me, or do you love power more? Because you're allowing all this to happen, then you really don't love me. You don't even love yourself. So like, it's not a relationship worth holding on to.
I think I have a slightly different view from Cassell. For me, I kind of wanted to forgive him. I don't know why.
What?
I feel a little bad for Phil. I feel like he just didn't have the courage, and I feel like everybody, that was just his vulnerability. I feel like everybody have that, and I feel like by the fact that he stood up to Bob, for somebody else that might be a small thing, but for him that was a really big thing because he'd never done that in years. So the fact that he made that step, I think he's heading in the right direction, and I feel like he can eventually be the man that Charity wants him to be. And I do feel like he loved her. I just feel like he chose Julie because he chose like his career over love.
Good point. But again, I'm going to disagree with you. Well, I agree with you partially, but in a sense, he didn't see his self-worth. Like, again, I think I'm just gonna circle back to my perspective. He chose power over love and over his own self. So ultimately, how do we know this is not gonna happen again? So why should Charity risk that? She already had a failed relationship, with her previous marriage. I don't think she should risk the possibility of maybe it might happen again. Who knows? 10 years later down the line, if he has an opportunity, would he do that? We don't know.
I do believe that people have the power to change. Just your past shouldn't just make decisions for you. So that's why I give him a benefit of a doubt.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. How would you rate this episode?
10 out of 10. The fact that it made me cry, that's a big deal. So 10 out of 10.
I would say 9.5 out of 10. I think they lost me I think Pastor Greenleaf lost me when he was blabbing. Just blabbing about something. He was blindsided. Like, dude, you knew. You just didn't want to pay attention. But I guess 9.5. Yeah, 9.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed this episode. So
yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked how we analyzed the episode, go ahead, comment what did you think, what did you like, what did you dislike, did you agree with me, did you agree with Colin? So thank you guys for watching and stay tuned for next week's episode.
Yes, thank you guys. See you again soon.
Bye.